black series. I like doing some of these lights out demonstrations for you, so that way you can see exactly with our technology what you are basically missing when you're using a white screen. Now, usually when you get a white projection screen, people tell you that, I've seen this before, where they'll tell you that, hey, look, all your bells and whistles in your projector are going to pretty much do all the work. I've heard that, hey, I'm going to be in a dark environment. What's the difference? I'm not going to really see a difference if I'm in the dark. You are going to see a difference. When you're sitting next to a more superior, high-grade screen, you're going to see where your white screen is not exactly giving you what you think you're getting. If you're using a white projection screen, you're probably getting roughly, if you're lucky, 30% of your projector's performance. Now, we're not using a high-end projector in here. We're just using our Sony VPL CX100 projector. That's basically about it. $10 projector off of eBay. And that shows you next to a white screen, because most people are going to have a white screen, because again, you're told that your projector is going to fix it for you, and you're going to find out it's not going to work that well. So this is why we find a lot of people on YouTube sitting in dark environments. Now, when you're in a dark environment, you figure you turn your lights out. This is going to improve your picture quality. And in this video demonstration, I like to do more of these to show you that you're not going to get exactly what you thought you're going to get. Your screen is definitely washed out. You're not picking up contrast. You're not reading color. Nothing's coming up. Now, keep in mind, some people feel that if I upgrade to a gray screen, this is going to fix it. No, the Infinity One. You see the back of Tron, you see the track, that's 100% black. That's what you'll have to be to see. And with gray screens, this is going to cost you some more money because, again, you're going to have to get in a projector with them. Much better than the one we're using this demonstration. Way better. And you're going to have to still get a much higher contrast level, which, again, you're going to pay for this. But even though with all that contrast, you still can't read that. Why? You should be able to do this in a fully lit environment, a maxed out area, where we're in right now, and be able to pick this up perfectly. Let me show you. I don't like to talk about things without basically backing it up. You know how it works for me. So here, turn our lights on, and you'll see that same image pulls up with no problem whatsoever, because again, you're supposed to be able to see that demonstration. Even if you're in a fully lit environment, you're still supposed to read it. So you can see, we can pick this up with no problem whatsoever. But I'm going to show you with the lights out. What most people do when they can't see their screen, they'll turn the lights out, hoping that this would fix the problem. But I'm showing you that even in the dark, your white screen is not working the way you think it's working. Let's go back. And the reason why we use the $10 projector in our demonstration is because, again, if you have to feel the need to spend the money for a more advanced projector to fix the problem, you're already having issues already. The fact that we could do this at 10 bucks, and if you have to spend more money, that means that at the end of the day, the screen's costing you money. Let's do Matrix. I picked these demonstrations that are super ultra dark. But you should be able to see all this with no problem. Feeling with that me. Very funny. Another one of my favorite films is The Matrix. Now, those of you with dedicated theater rooms, you never should have a gray and white screen in your dedicated theater room, ever.
This is it. Let me give you one piece of advice. knows more than you can imagine.
At last. Welcome here.
Darth Vader fight scenes. Very important. The contrast is everything, as you can see. That's why I said when you're in a dark environment, you have a white projection screen in there. You have to read the Infinity One in order to pick up Darth Vader's armor. Mind you, again, we're not on an expensive machine, because people forget that when we do these demonstrations, they think we're using a high-end projector. No, we're on a very cheap projector. Again, a $10 machine. Your black level should literally be that high. And this is without calibrating or none of that nonsense. You literally should be that high. And the fact that you're working on a projector, most people I see in these demonstrations, you're working on projectors that are way more advanced than what I have here with Betsy over here. We call her Betsy. Way more advanced. So how come we're reading a level that high? Because the screens we have here are actually black screens. That's why I told you that gray and white screens can't read this. Not even a gunmetal can do this. I'm gonna have to come back, get a picture of that, post that one to a forum site. That is freaking impressive right there. Look at the shine in his helmet. So you go out and spend the money for a projector, you're whopping 2 million, 3 million, 10 million to one, you still can't read that black level correctly.
He was wise to use you against me.
He just grabbed a lightsaber? Like, really? Mind, he's not even using a weapon yet. That tells you at the end of the day you're in trouble. You're fighting Darth Vader and he hasn't even pulled out his weapon yet and he's just dodging you? Oh, it's time to pack it up and just go. Let's get something else here. Oh, some beautiful abstract
Hey
color.
guys, welcome to my new video, and today I want to show you how to create a scrolling parallax.
Shows you how your colors aren't reading correctly either. This is why you calibrate. You calibrate because your colors don't read correctly. Now I'm talking about anybody, not just one person. Actually, literally admitted it in the video. He's calibrating. The screen doesn't look good. It'll look better once I calibrate it. That is not something you want to ever say on your own product. So as you can see with this technology, you see all those beautiful colors popping up? This is an uncalibrated $10 projector. It's 720p. And when you do a lights out demonstration, and I can't express this enough, you have to have a comparison screen there. Because there's no point doing lights out and being in the dark and saying, look how beautiful the image looks. No, you're in a standalone. You have to do it with something next to a splatter screen. Is fantastic for that effect, or certified, or whatever we're going to use, or black on black, or one of those. You have to have something there to show. Now the problem with the gray screen trying to do a splatter effect is the fact that, say this image pulls up a black level, right? It's not going to be able to read it. Mind you, splatter screens also have to be done in fully lit environments, which we do all the time. Because again, if a person's faking their contrast levels in the dark, they can't do it when the lights come on. Either way, you get caught. That's the reason why we do not calibrate. We don't have to calibrate. Our screens pull up in a tremendously high contrast level, and on top of that, they can pick up beautiful colors. Look at the menu. See the white letters on the menu? This is on my PC, so I can literally read my text from here with no problem whatsoever. See how beautiful the white levels push off with the black level at the exact same time? All the colors pop all at the exact same time. This is how your screens are supposed to be reacting. What we see when we watch other screens, this comes up gray. You see that smoky shade that comes to it. This is steampunk. Walk through the city at night. And the thing about it is when you're watching on a white screen, you really believe that you're actually seeing color. You believe you're seeing a contrast level. I know I did it myself when I got my first setup. You really think you're seeing that, you're actually not picking it up. You're nowhere near close to what your projector can do. And this is what I see all day long when I go to forum sites, when I'm on YouTube, and I see people taking these high-powered projectors and hitting the screen, and you see where that image is, where it's all washed out? That's how I see your image. That's why you hear me on camera saying your image is washed out. It's not supposed to look like that. So the only way to get you to see what I see every day when I look at a screen is to do a splatter screen. This is what I see when I go to the movie theaters. I literally pick that up. See that washed out image? That's what I see in the movie theater. Because I'm used to seeing that in the middle. So I'd rather just whip out my cell phone and watch the movie from there, which you can't because, again, it's in the movie. So that's why I go to the 4D movie theaters because, again, there's always something going on with the smoke and chairs moving and stuff, and that keeps me occupied. I'll show you another one. I like doing this one. As I told you before, that's you're watching a blinding white screen. That's the only way. But if you watch any form of white level, you're going to have contrast in it. 4K Snow Screensaver. I like doing this because it has the detail of the cottage. And you'll notice that only our image is going to show the detail. So we have to pick up the white level, the color level, and the detail at the same time. This is why even when showing up a high white level, this is where gray and white screens are going to have a difficult time because they can't read that Infinity 1, which is a big requirement when it comes to adding depth and detail to your image. So see that refined image and the cottage and the grass and the trees, the bark, the fence, everything. All that pushes through our screen because we read that 100% contrast. Where a gray screen is going to have a problem with this. So this gray screen is going to cost you a lot of money because you're going to have to spend the money for a projector to try to get it to do this, which you're not going to come close because it can't do it. And mind you, this is not a 4K projector. I get this all the time. Are they 4K machines? They're still refined? No. That is a 720p XGA. That's it. And those projectors are cheap. You can get those projectors on eBay. SVGA projector or VGA projector on the back. SVGA. That projector's under $50. That's it. I want you to look at this right here. Look at the lake. Look at the background of the forest. It only picks up here because this is our screen here. That's our screen here. This is our screen back here. This is that piece of surface we saw. This is actually where I took a roller and just rolled over one spot. That's it. Anywhere we hit that roller at, that screen's going to activate. If you hear others ranting about the QUASAR, that tells you from the door how lethal the screen is, because people are terrified of QUASARs. People who make screen paints are terrified of it. They rant a lot about this screen, a lot. So anytime you see us develop a technology, you see that they'll rant about projector mapping, do that. You ever notice that when we do a demonstration, they'll talk about other paints that they hopefully can try to get close to, but they never talk about our projector mapping application technology. You know why? Because they don't understand projector mapping technology, and they have to pick and choose their battles. That's why. We make other stuff at the end of the day. They have to pick and choose their battles. Do you see them doing any demonstrations versus AdTech, a screen that can absorb glass on sunlight through windows? You don't see them doing that, do they? No, because they know they can't. They'll try to go against something that they hopefully they can try to compete with. But again, these half matching betters, there's challenges, the demonstrations we do, they can't follow behind. Yeah, they pick and choose. And then when they do their demonstrations against our products, they do it in a very dark environment. You know why? Because their screens can't read in fully lit environments. That's why. We see it all the time. But still, at the end of the day, the projector that you're using, very expensive machine. You're using a high calibrated machine. So when you use a projector that's expensive like that, what happens is the only way the customer is going to be able to achieve that picture quality, they're going to have the same projector or better. And in case your projector costs now $2,500, that's going to cost the customers $2,500 plus the screen paint, whatever you're charging. Our product for our customers, keep in mind, they would only have to spend somewhere roughly around under the $400 or $500 mark. And this is a screen that can take out a $7,000 certified. Gray screens can take out certified. No, they don't have the ambient light rejection technology to compete with one. They're not dark enough to be to deal with it. And then on top of that, they can't even be used outside, so that's not going to happen. They don't work with projector mapping applications. This product does work with projector mapping applications, so that's not going to work either. You're going to have to spend the money to get a darker contrast level, and you still won't reach the Infinity One, but no way in the world you're going to hit that. And it doesn't possess, again, no ambient light rejection technology, which means you're going to be in a dark environment. And even in a dark environment, your colors are still lacking, and you still have to calibrate a machine that costs that much money. So that turns out to be an expensive headache. Where our customers come in, paint the surface down, and they can use it in a fully lit environment. Heck, they can even go outside with it. And their projectors don't cost them a lot of money. They don't need it. So, cheap, affordable, easy to paint, and the results on it are absolutely incredible. As you can see. Gray screens cost more money. Got to spend more money for the projectors to get them to work. That's why it costs more money. And then on top of that, if you do a gray screen versus a white screen, it's not much of a difference. You're literally going to have to sit right up on top of the screen to see if there's a difference or not. Really going to have to go through that. Did we just come out of a commercial to go into a commercial? I think we did. So if I have to walk you over to that screen, put your face up against it at a finger's distance to show you the difference, that's a fail. You should be able to do that way back here where we're at right now. You're actually behind my projector. That's why I said the whole purpose of when we do these demonstrations, we're doing this with the lights out. In this demonstration, we already did a few with the lights on. But you should have options. You need to turn your lights on. If you have to be in a dark environment to get the screen to work, this is not going to work. For commercial or anybody, it's not going to work. And if you're calibrating these projectors, because the screen will look better once we calibrate the projector, that is extremely bad. Because that means even you have to recognize your screen's not doing that well. You're trying to convince someone else. Oh yeah, it'll look better. No, I understand. It looks like this. But it'll look much better once we calibrate the projector. There's no way to get around it. It's literally what happened in that video. But even he recognized the image was not good. We're not doing any calibration. We're not doing any calibration. No. Should be to do this without calibration. Now, when you see demonstrations in dark environments on standalones, make sure you request a splatter screen demonstration. This is very important. You need to see the difference. How much of an advance of mine? You're going to spend the money for this to upgrade your white screen. You're going to put the time in, do all this. You want to make sure that the time and effort and money you're putting in this, you're going to see a massive change. Now, I know we got those out there that are usually excuse, always using special. I would not talk about using special because, again, we're in commercial. We're not at a home front. We're actually in a commercial. Commercial environment, no different in this environment. We don't have family downstairs. We have people who work in this building. So they come in here and they see this thing all the time. So, no, that wouldn't work. And, again, making the claim that people are using special abilities, you are doing that right now with a calibrated machine. That's that high contrast on the projector. Projector ultra short throw, no distance throw. Projector sitting right on top of the screen at 3,000 lumens. Yeah, that's no. Those are extra perks that people do in demonstrations to try. And companies do that. They calibrate their machines. I would love to be sitting in a booth and somebody come to me and say, "Oh man, I like the way you calibrate." Calibrate what? What do you mean calibrate? These machines are not calibrated. Ain't no way in the world they're calibrated. Why would I calibrate it? What would be the purpose of that? Get the colors right, adjust the colors. We don't need that. We're good. Screen does that. You know, if I got to calibrate it, that means you got to calibrate it. You have the same image. And it shows people at the end of the day, when it comes to painting their white screens, this is literally how much you're going to gain off your projector investment. So that means the entire time you're sitting there watching movies and sports and whatever you're watching, you're not even getting what your projector is designed to do. So, if you're tired of getting ripped off and not getting what you paid for, and you want to get the most out of your projector investment, just to let you know that the dark is not going to help you. I get it all the time. This is why we do this demonstration. I always get this from customers. I'm going to be in the dark anyway. What's the difference? There you go. That's the difference. Colorful abstract art.
know I've got to combat it. And when I take the next step, I'm going to make it count. For my career, for my family.
That's literally how much color you actually lose on a white screen. So I explained to you, we don't calibrate. My projector, like I said, we have here, look it up if you want to. It's not an advanced machine in any way whatsoever. It doesn't have the millions and millions and millions of colors that these new projectors have. It's not even close to any of that. And yet, it looks like this on our stuff. And those Panasonics, and those demonstrations, those Panasonics were high-powered venue projectors in that demonstration, and he still had to calibrate those projectors. Those Panasonics were far more advanced than what we're using here. That's why I like Old Faithful. That's why I like using Betsy. Because again, when we show up these old projectors in our demonstrations, and they're doing this, it allows people to think that, hey, I got a projector at home that's way better than this. It's far more advanced than he has here, and I'm not getting that image. Something wrong with your projector. Listen, a name brand, and we're going to fix that problem, but the problem you have right now is that your screen is not giving you what your projector is producing. Your projector is producing the image. Your screen's not receiving it. It's a language barrier going on right now. Those you want to watch football in the dark? Not a problem, but if you choose to. Football highlights. Let's see how much of your image goes missing if you're in the dark watching the game.
Look, somebody cruises Black Friday event today. Nationwide is so much more than.
Now we're going to be designing a new splatter screen. Splatter screen is going to be half white and half gray. We got a gray screen paint product that we make it from Digital One. We've used it before. I'm going to do a half and half on that. That's what you lose without our technology.
He's up to the 39-yard line. A third down conversion with a gain of 8.
Look at the shine off that helmet. 100% black.
That's Mechie over the heart of the field, and he is into Dallas territory. Texans are spending a lot of time at the line of scrimmage once they get up there. Hand to Mixon. Cut back. Joe Mixon. Goodbye. Touchdown, Texans.
Massive difference, ain't it?
See the center, Jared Pat.
LG 4K demonstrations. Huge, massive difference. Which I done told you, the QUASAR technology, that's why we call it the mother of all screens. Technology can do things that other technology can't do. When we started off the first QUASAR, We told you that screen had other counterparts to it. It doesn't just stop at that screen. It has other capabilities. So you watch me develop that stuff in the garage, and now we're here in a commercial office. We just advanced. It got far better. That's why we had someone make a statement saying, "Oh, it must be in the garage. It must be the end of the road." You don't know my Jesus, do you? No, it's not the end of the road. It's never the end of the road until the Lord says it is. No man can make that prediction. The Lord allows us to have that technology engineered in that garage, and here it is. Oh, geez. I tell people, be careful about predicting things that were given to Christians. Lord blessed me to be in a situation, in an area. He has plans for me at the end of the day. But for people to predict what they think, what it is, don't do that. That's extremely, extremely dangerous. God does not like that kind of stuff. You don't mess with his plans. If he has plans for us to be someplace, then that's where we're going to be at. But never, ever make fun of a place where God puts a Christian at, because again, that's extremely dangerous. The black background, I love that. It's one of the things I see. I don't look at so much of the colors. I'm always looking at that black background. Look how 100%, that 100% contrast, that Infinity One pulls. Now, for those of you, I got people asking, what is the Infinity One? It means the screen doesn't have a contrast reading. It doesn't have one. So basically, a rating. When you're dealing with projectors have that 10,000 to 1, 20,000 to 1, 5,000 to 1. With this technology, it doesn't make a difference what your projector has. The projector can have a no contrast at all, or it can have 10 million. It doesn't make a difference because you'll never use it. You'll turn it off. It's not necessary. Screen is contrast. There's that heightener. Every time you see them high white levels, that's the heightener technology. It produces insane white levels. There's a 21 sitting in this thing. Makes all your colors pop better. This is what I want to see when I go on YouTube and I watch demonstrations on screens sitting in the dark. I do not want to see a standalone, because a standalone, I can't tell whether your screen's working or not. I need to see a side-by-side with another white screen, a splatter screen, something to get an idea of exactly where your contrast, where your color, everything's laying. This is when I say you're spending too much money for your projectors. Way too much. You don't need all that stuff. You don't need it. What do you need a high contrast level for? To produce heavier contrast levels. When you reach this technology, it's something you don't need. What about the millions and millions of colors your projector comes with it? This projector doesn't have it, and look at the color quality on this thing. Ultra bright, hey, we can switch out the Old Faithful. I'm gonna do a demonstration Old Faithful 1000 lumens in here. Old Faithful can read in a fully lit environment and read a black surface, or a black surface that's not even painted with our technology. Easy. Screens have tremendously a ton of gain. They had to. They didn't, they wouldn't be able to operate in this environment. Remember, meters don't read in here. So again, spend a lot of money to try to get your screen to work, and it doesn't. And the last holy grail of a gray and white screen is in a dark environment. And I told you, but I say on camera, we can literally come in that environment and show you where the white screen doesn't function. And soon, next week, we'll be showing you a high performance gray screen paint, which we're going to design, put it against that screen, and it won't read a lick of contrast. None of it. Because it can't read it. And if anyone says, well, we gotta get a what? A more expensive projector to fix the gray screen? No. We gotta calibrate the gray? No, we're not doing any of that. I don't have to do it on my product. Why should I have to do it on that? Same conversation we had with the Darkstar 9. We first started showing off our technology versus the Darkstar 9. The first thing I got was, oh, can't have your projector on the floor because it's not fair. I'm like, well, that's a $3,000 projection screen. If I can't put that thing on the floor and we'll have it work and ours can work, why would I spend the $3,000 for it? Yeah. That should be to pick up anywhere I'm at. Well, the problem is they have the reflective surface. They have to be in line with the screen. If not, if you're too far down or too up, they can go dark. So if that being the case, that doesn't sound like a perk to me. That sounds like pretty much a weak point. I can put my projector anywhere I want, it'll fire up. I've literally had long conversations and debates with that, with certified screens, because we had projectors on the floor and they thought that it wasn't right. So again, we mounted a projector to a ceiling and still took out their screen. Now what? What are we complaining about now? There's nothing else to talk about? Okay, moving on. I went through that in the form site, literally. Mounted the projector to a ceiling, set it up just the way they wanted it, and still took out their screen. I think one of the demonstrations we used a motorized projection screen we got from eBay for about $69 and used it to take out a Darkstar 9. I actually bought an Elite screen and used it to take out one of their own screens. Now I think when they don't see a lot of demonstrations in the dark, but once they start seeing these demonstrations, it just will let them know at the end of the day exactly, even in the dark. Again, where are you going to go? Can't survive in fully lit environments like we do, so that's not going to work. Definitely can't function on the levels we can function outside, so that's not going to work. And you can't even survive in your dark environment right now because we can do better. So where would you go? And it's a good wake-up call for the customers because the customers can see exactly they're not getting what they paid for. Some people paid a lot of money for their setup and they're still not getting what they paid for. Anybody ever tells you, any company, any business in the day tells you some stuff that says, hey, you got to calibrate, point them to my direction. I have no problem with having a conversation with them. I got some demonstrations for them. I love that. Look at that burning fire. I still like that black section. When you see that black come up. 1 hour demonstration. I'm not gonna do the whole hour. I want to do that transition. We did the transition on Facebook. I was just over there doing demonstrations over there for them. And we get people there saying, well, it's all camera tricks. Well, problem you have with that, I've been around a lot for a long time. You know, those, keep in mind, I've had about 3 or 4 companies. I've been back for a very long time. So I guess when the people came down from, the other country to do the demonstrations, those are all camera tricks. All the beta testers, that would be all camera tricks. All the customers for the last 3 companies I had, there'd be all camera tricks, right? And all my customers on my site and being on site, that have been all camera tricks. And yeah, I think, the first time I think it was announced because people couldn't handle the process of how amazing the technology looks. That right there, trying to get that to stick would have been much more, I say, an easier chance to try it. But the fact that we've been around this long and we have so many people that have our products, so many witnesses that testify our products, at this particular point, when you're still saying that, it kind of gives you the equivalence of someone in the back behind a 7-Eleven with a tinfoil hat. Because again, now it sounds desperate. I have way too many customers. Way too many times I've been on site, and I got to be on site multiple times. Like I said, this coming year, I got to be on site quite a lot. So that would be virtually impossible. I got other people standing around me watching the same screen. How would that even work? So like I said, it shows you from the door that the rumors and stuff that were started about our products was out of due to fear. And why due to fear? Because they're going to be questioned. They're going to be asked to do the same thing. If you've been cheating on a test for a very long time, and sooner or later you have to come up and you have to do this test for real in front of a bunch of people, this is not going to go well for you. You're going to make up every excuse in the book not to be there. If our products didn't work, well, I wouldn't be here. That'd be virtually impossible. I wouldn't be able to do all the demonstrations I'm doing. And keep in mind, when you do these demonstrations, you're going to have to back them up in front of people. So unless I've got the ability to be able to read people's minds and change their thought patterns and whatever, which I don't have special powers, that's the only way I would be able to do that. Now, keep in mind, again, I've mentioned this multiple times on camera, all our freaking websites are dedicated to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. When you come at my blessings, when you come at what I'm blessed to have, you come at God. That's what you're really dealing with. You're dealing with God. Because, again, if this was the devil's work, well, none of this would work at all, period. Nothing. So, usually, anyone who basically does with the devil, this stuff doesn't work for Jack. It isn't. It's constant failure after failure. You're always exposed. That's what happens. But if you're doing the Lord's work, you're being 100% true with Him, then He's going to bless you. And your products are always going to work. And as you see, our products always work. Always. Some people are exposing themselves in the long run. They show who they really are. It's jealousy. That's what it comes down to. They've tried to make our products. They've tried to slander our product. They've failed in every single attempt. They tried to destroy our company. We're still here. Still thriving. Still developing amazing technology. Still doing incredible demonstrations. We're still here. Can't stop God. Can't stop destiny. They've tried everything they could. They broke every law. Just about every law in the book to try to destroy our business. None of it worked. And here we are in the dark, in their environment that they like to show off their products in. And as you can see, as I said before, our products in the dark look absolutely insane. That white screen doesn't register next to our products. So again, how are you going to do demonstrations in the dark when we're doing demonstrations in the dark like this? Customers are going to start asking for comparison screens. Good. That's what you should be asking for. And that's what they don't want. Because now, they're going to expect for you to do this. And that means you can't match the screen. Can't be a hiccup or none of that. You can't literally match the screen at all. It's be completely different. See how the reds pop up? See right here? See how the reds pop up? So on the white surface, doesn't even pick up at all. Doesn't even exist. they're going to be expecting this. And when they're expecting this, what you're going to get is, oh, it's fake. It's not real. It's all camera tricks. Well, that means, like, again, impossible. I'm on site all the time. There's other people see my screen besides me. I have customers and all that stuff. So that would be impossible. That means the church that comes up in my promo demonstration, that means that would also be fake too. So again, I think we'll have to do a matching better on this. We'll do a matching better lights out. We'll do one. I haven't done one with lights out. We'll do one lights out, matching better. I'll do a short video on this we just saw right now, and we're going to make this a matching better. Now, again, the reason why we do this, it cuts down a lot of nonsense, because we do have people that come on YouTube and, you know, they don't make any new products, they don't work hard to do anything, they just basically just feed off and cheat other people at the end of the day. But when people are trying to do something right for the community, trying to make better products, they get jealous over that. So, just in case, if you go out and say, customer comes here, somebody comes here and says, hey, Mr. Bird is doing these demonstrations in the dark, he's showing these impressive colors against his white screen, just in case if you say, well, that's fake, you got a matching better coming today. And we expect this to be done by today, which means you're going to do a splatter screen effect. Now, it could be worse. I could turn the lights on. We know you can't operate in there. So we'll keep it in the dark, and you're going to have to show a difference between night and day, which means you're going to have to pull a contrast level. Now keep in mind, they're going to be inspecting you. Matching better means you have to do the exact same demonstration. Oh, by the way, you will not be on ultra short throw. So you know that. Your 2 million to 1, all that stuff you guys like to use, no, scratch it. You're going to use the same projector we're using.
On Medicare?
You're going to be under. You're going to be $20 for your projector. And you're going to be 9 feet from the screen when you do the demonstration. So that 2 million to 1, you're going to be the counter, it's gone. You can't use that. No, you can't have that. Match or better means the same thing. You have to do the same thing. As a matter of fact, technically you should be using the same model projector I'm using. Let me see. No, since this past, so I come back and turn this to a match or better. We're going to do 2 of these, not today. We'll do 1, which is going to be with the lights out, tomorrow, which will be the lights on. Same demonstration. All right, are we near time? Yeah, we're not near time. Usually we hit the time. Let's just keep this rolling. And then we'll do the matching better. And then probably later in the day, we did some PC talk this morning. So, I got a few things. I got to go run some errands I got to go do. We could be at a trade show. A lot of you know, this is how desperate these guys are. We could be at a trade show with a bunch of people, thousands of people staring at our screen, and they will still come in and say, oh, he's using camera tricks. How would that be possible? See, this is where people think you're lunatics. You guys are nuts at the end of the day. Because again, mind you, we've been on site with these screens. How would that even be possible? Unless I got special powers. And if I got special powers, I'm in the wrong business. I'm definitely in the wrong business if I got special powers. And I don't have special powers at all, period. That's just people being jealous. That's what it comes down to. We're used to it. I've heard just about everything you can name in form sites. Oh, and I gotta add real quick, when you're doing the demonstration, do not be up on top of the screen. You have to be behind your projector. That's why we want the projector to be around 8 to 9 feet from the screen. Because you can't be up on the screen trying to show people the difference. You must do that behind the projector. So all that taking it up and zooming all up, and no, bring it back some. And then once you repeat that one, you get that one completed, the next one, lights on. Meters don't read in those environments. Try to brighten the environment up. If you can't get into a commercial, try to brighten the environment up. Nice and bright. Meter can't read. We like doing it that way because meter can't read in the environment. There's got to be a lot of light in the environment. Oh shoot, why we got that one off? No, leave the other one off. Both on. Both of them on. There we go. I could ask you to do this one right now. Would you want to do this one? This is worse. Lights out is easy. If you can't pass that one, we can have you do this one. Or we can do both. I'm running it back again, and we're doing this one with the lights on. Well, we don't expect you to do this right now because, again, we put these matching betters out there because these are for people who like to run their mouths. They'll sit there and say, oh, he's using camera tricks, when customers or somebody may come up to him and say, hey, look, how about you do the same demonstration Mr. Bird is doing? And again, they'll reply back by saying, oh, that's all tricks, that's not real. Well, if it's not all real, it's all tricks, then you wouldn't have any problem doing it yourself. So what's the problem? So that's why we put the matching betters in. That's what they're for. People talk too much. So instead of you talking, show us how it's done. And I'll guarantee to the customer, anyone who contacts them, they're not going to reply back. They're not going to do it at all, period. That's why the minute we turn the lights on, we know they're in the room right now. The minute we turn the lights on, they start dropping out because they know they can't do it. Can't do it with the lights on off either. I've seen y'all stuff with the lights off. Your colors are washed out. Your contrast is not reading. And if you think you're going to be to rely on your projector, no, that's going to be snatched away too. You're going to get one of these projectors I got next to the desk. You're going to get an old relic. It doesn't have any of the bells and whistles, nothing that your projector has. So you can't lean on that projector. I don't see what the problem is. Like, you have to work on that projector only? Because if you have to work on that projector only, that's not a good sign. That tells customers at the end of the day that, you know, I got to rely on that because I can't use anything else because it won't work. So the Sony demonstration, you're going to have to pull a contrast demonstration. You're going to have to pull a contrast level.
Just count on me for all the cool
So remember that we're going to do it in a few minutes. We're going to do the whole transaction where you're going to change and then you're going to go back. That's what you're going to do. So you're going to do this on a splatter screen. It's not going to be done on a standalone. See the splatter we had? They have to do the exact same thing, match or better. Projectors you'll be using in the demonstration, well, they're not going to do it anyway. But this just in case if you guys, someone reaches out to them and asks us the same question, you just say, hey, put a matching better out. How can you do the matching better for me? That's it. So, with that being said, your projector can't be a high-end 4K laser. No, get all that. We get rid of all that. And you're not going to be using the high-powered contrast. That's going to. Get one of these old SVGA projectors. Go pick you up yourself an adapter. You should have been had an adapter a long time ago if you're really testing your stuff out. But get yourself an old projector adapter, and yeah, go pick one up. Get the Sonys. You get the Sonys. Sonys are pretty much, you ever have low specs. Those are the Sony VPL. We got the CS and the CX100. Any one of those models will work just fine. Then those are low key projectors. And you're going to do that at around 9 feet back, and you're going to do that. You're going to be sitting behind your projector where I'm at right now. No distance and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So, see? Easy.
That's
Everything we do is fake.
the
best tools to capture it all. Here are my must-haves for vloggers.
Could be worse. Could ask for commercial this time. I didn't ask for commercial. Now see, that's what shuts down the nonsense. That's what it does. It shuts down the nonsense. And it arms the customer where they can't hear this beat around the bush nonsense. Simple and plain. If they come to you and they say, hey, look, Mr. Bird's out here doing demonstrations, how about you do it? And they reply back, well, that's fake. That's not real. That's phony. That's just that and the other. Well, he just said you were going to say that, so that's why he did a match and better demonstration. Here, let me send you the link. Feel free to send the link over. How about you do the same thing he just did? And then you're going to hear a bunch. You're going to hear either they're not going to contact you back, or it's the last you're going to ever hear of them again. Matter of fact, we'll make this interesting, because I don't know what I got to do tomorrow. If I got to discuss tomorrow. We're going to do both lights on and lights off. You do both of them. So we're going to add in the lights on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have lights off in the color and the contrast on switching the lights on. You guys do the opposite. You guys basically do the color with the lights on, and when the contrast comes on, you turn the lights off. You notice you do that. We're going to do it the opposite for you. I'm going to do the recording live. Match or better, live demonstration. Same thing here. We got here, people, but we're going to repeat this. And it's not just for them. It's for anybody. Anybody who feels the need to call my videos fake and not real, it's for you. I'll put a date on it when I expect to have it done. When you should have it done. We're going to do ours right now. Waiting to reach our 1 hour. Demonstrations should take about 1 hour. You know why? There's a lot of stuff to show you. A lot of stuff you should be seeing. If you're just seeing like one fast video, real quick, whoop, done. No, that's not enough. There's a lot of stuff you need to know. All right, we hit our 1 hour. Woo. Getting it done. Got a 1 hour in. Boom. All right, so come back in. I'm gonna do a live stream, match or better. Keep in mind, those of you who want to challenge a demonstration, it must be done live. That's why I want to do it that way. No point doing it pre-recorded. There's no fun in that. Definitely got to do it live. Could be worse. I got it certified underneath my desk. I can put them certifieds up there. You don't want those at the end of the day. Those things are brutal. So being nice when we do it this way. But this basically is being done to cut down on dumb nonsense, because we have people out there that are so jealous about what we do. Somebody was doing, we know who, we're not going to mention him in the video, but I did try to do a debunking video about how our products work. Let me explain something to you. A black versus black is a black surface next to another black surface, not a black surface next to a gray surface. You would be a gray versus gray. So let's see. I want to do this. I want to put down how many times we do the beginning of the month. We're going to start it off by putting down how many times we do a black versus black demonstration versus those two. Now, we challenge you to do a black versus black. That's easy. You're going to do a gray versus gray because you have gray paint. So how many times we do it versus how many times you do it. You should do it every day for 1 month. Now, everyone do it every day for 1 solid month. So that way, we can see if they can match us. Because, and you guys talk a lot of nonsense. You do. You talk a lot of nonsense. So that's what we're going to do. Ultimate YouTube challenge. Every month, you're going to do a gray versus gray. And you're going to match your environment, our projectors, everything. That's what you're going to do. Now, mind you, we had one for them was 1 year. We actually had a 1 year challenge. And for that 1 year, you had to swap out your projector for a much older machine. That's why we swapped out the Chrissy LWU505 5000 on projector, 1920 by 1200 WXGA projector for a 600 by 800 SVGA ViewSonic. That's why the ViewSonic was there. We did it for 1 year. Did they do it? No, heck no. No, they didn't do it. They wouldn't do it at all, period. So they wouldn't do that demonstration. But this one we're going to do, because you should do this demonstration regardless. It should never be under a challenge. Every day you should show a demonstration of your product next to black paint or gray paint, whatever's matching your screen. We're going to do it. I'm going to put the calendar up there. I'm going to mark off every day that we do it. And it'll be a challenge. Every time we show that one particular video, showing that among our other videos, it'll be a challenge behind that. Ugh. Man. All right, gotta go, people. Of course, we thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for blessing us with amazing technology, because if it weren't for Him, none of this would be available. Let's get our lights real quick. I want to do this. Here we go. The lights, boom. Showing how amazing our technology looks. God is good, isn't He? So yes, we thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for blessing us with amazing technology, because if it wasn't for Him, none of this would ever exist. And those of you who challenge my Lord's blessings, at the end of the day, those of you who feel that the blessings that my Lord has given to me are fake and phony, we will out you. You're not going to call the Lord and the blessings that I get from Him to be fake, phony, or scams. This is why you're being exposed all over YouTube. The Lord is putting you out there for all to see on who you are, because you called His blessings a scam. So, for 1 month, every day, we expect a demonstration from these individuals showing the same test that we're doing, or demonstrations for us. It'll be more tests for them. You know, the matching better, we get this from our Lord. He's the one who tells us to do this, because, again, it outs people that are doing things they shouldn't be doing. Consequences for calling the Lord's blessings if He gets to His servants scams. The Lord doesn't like that. One bit. Doesn't appreciate it. I find it interesting how people can go out and make a false claim against a Christian's blessing, and yet they'll sit there at their table and ask the Lord to bless their food, knowing what they did to another Christian. And understand this, the Lord doesn't hear you sometimes. He doesn't hear you. You're doing all this evil out there in the world. He doesn't hear you. Especially when you need Him the most. You better hope He hears you. Hey, check this out, Taco. We got to do tests on these screens right here as we get them in. We're going to get some more of them. I don't know where you laying that way. That's got to be so uncomfortable. Come here, Mr. Sparky boy. How you laying like this? This crazy. What you doing? How are you laying? Don't crash down here. Mr. Sparky. How you laying this way? Don't be down. I'm just trying to pet you. I'll make sure you're okay. There we go. No, come back. Come back. I'm trying to fix your little area. You're so temperamental. You're so temperamental. You're so temperamental. Like, don't scratch me on camera. How dare you? How dare you scratch me on camera for everybody to see that? How dare you? I'm going to get a lawyer downstairs and sue you. So get one of the attorneys downstairs to file a lawsuit against me. Let me see. Where's my, where is my, whatchamacallit? Where's my case for this thing? Oh, no, we have to have this open. I forgot. Let me do this whole thing. All right, we'll be back. Matching better demonstration, fully lit environment, half and half. We're going to do a different one. Usually I'm used to seeing them do the color in the dark, instead of dark, the color with the lights on. But we're going to do opposite. We're going to do color in the dark, which is easy, and we're going to do contrast with the lights on. So let's see where we're going to be at. I think right there. Right there. All right, we'll start there. We'll be back. We're going to do a match or better, and as I said before, the reason why these are done because we have individuals who just talk way too much nonsense, so you're going to have to match and better. I'll put the rules and everything below, which is actually simple and plain. You know, you'll be using our projectors, and once we're using it here, we'll be using a high-end, high-powered machines, none of that whatsoever. And you're going to do your contrast levels in a fully lit environment, which you should be doing anyway. There should never ever be a challenge at all. Well, we put that in just to get people to stop talking dumb nonsense in the day. If we're fake and all this is not real, then you should have no problem completing the exact same thing, right? Right. All right. Could be worse. Could be certified. We'll do certified tomorrow. All right. With that being said, hope you enjoyed. Thank you for your time, and God bless you. Our projector's right there. You got your projector right there. All right. Gotta go.